Everyone's still breathing. It's going to be a tense season. But the good news is I think we will all feel better when we see the face of Harvey Specter. So let's go ahead, bring out the man who plays him so brilliantly. Please welcome Gabriel Macht.
Hello. Hello.
Do you see?
Wow,
Look at these cameras.
Lots of
Again, like
cameras.
5-6
Hello.
rows deep in the back. You've had a busy day. You started at Today's Show, did the historic first spit take on air at Today.
I did. Apparently, it's the first. Yes.
Spit
I
take.
can't believe that. It's 50 years that show's been on.
And we do have water here, I'm just saying, so feel free. But I'll tell you what I love.
Apologize in advance.
Right,
You
first
guys
row. I love that that's the clip that we showed, because I know from talking with creator Aaron Korsh that whenever the writer who sort of pitched the idea that these back 6 episodes of season 5 would be about fighting to get Mike free of these charges, Aaron was like, but we can't fight it. Like, we know he didn't do it. He didn't go to Harvard. And then basically what you heard Harvey say in that scene is what that writer then told Aaron. So I'm wondering, what was your reaction when you heard that this was going to be the way it was going to go down?
Are you asking what was my reaction when I heard that he might be indicted?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yes, because that's kind of a big thing.
Yeah. Well, look, the hook of our show is that he's a fake lawyer, and it's been a secret for a long time. I've always looked at this show as it's a law show, and the hook is that he's a fake lawyer. So I've just been waiting and waiting, I think like everybody else, for this to be outed. And I think what's great about the last 6 episodes, the one airing tonight being the first, is that Aaron is ready to bring this house of cards down, And, Aaron likes to put himself in a corner, and I think that gives us a lot of challenges. He's totally guilty. So let's see how these guys get out of this one. And, I know what happens. You want me to tell you? It's just us. I won't tell anybody else. It's fun to see how the family of, the lawyers that are in the bunch, the Jessicas and the Lewises and the Donnas and all of us, have our loyalties to each other and the potential of turning on each other. I think Harvey trusts these people implicitly, but the questions do arise. And I think what's also interesting is that we bring back a lot of the all-stars of all the recurring characters, and you see characters coming back all the time. So it's a lot of fun to see these characters come back and see who outs them, Who's the rat? Who do you guys think it is?
Well, I wanted to take a poll, you guys. I don't know if you've seen that USA's website is now doing a poll who ratted him out. I wrote down the top 3 picks, which again may or may not actually be the person, but I thought we'd go ahead, raise hands in the room, see what they think. Okay, so the first pick is Claire. She's leading with 26% of the vote. Who here thinks that it was Claire? Which is Troy and Belisario's character. No, we only got like one person. Okay. These are the real Suits fans down here. They know. Okay, the next one, you guys, get your groan ready. Trevor is second place with 20%. Who thinks Trevor did it? Okay, we got a little more.
A few Trevors out here, yeah.
Okay, and the third pick was Rachel's mother, Laura Zane. She has 14%. I'm seeing a shaking of the head, raising the hands, okay. And I guess then the rest is other. That's everyone else's thing. Harvey did it.
Bang!
That's the big twist.
Oh my God.
Is there any wild theory that you've heard? Because you've had 5 months, basically nearly 5 months since this episode aired to tonight. And I'm wondering, first of all, is that enough time for people to forget where the show ended, so you haven't had fans harassing you? Or has it just been 5 straight months of people saying, who did it, what's going to happen next, hey, listen to my theory?
To me, nobody, I'm sorry. Nobody on the street has been like, who did it? No one, no. I think lucky me, I've been going under the radar. I guess online people are, calling it out. Let me tell you this. Okay. I don't know if you find out tonight. You may find out next week. May find out the following week. But I will tell you this. the person that outs him is connected to one of the six of us, and it's or could be one of us, right? There's a very personal story here, and it was really well done on how Aaron and the writing crew got to this point. But I will say this: we have a mock trial coming up, so that's going to be also, I think, good for the fans, that people will see how we get to the point of how we represent ourselves to get out of this. At the end of the day, this state attorney she's coming after Mike for, conspiracy to commit fraud, but she's also coming after Harvey. She's coming after Jessica and Lewis. She knows that we've all been doing shady things along the way. And what's great is that this house of cards looks like it's going to fall down. So there's a lot of opportunities for stories. It's great.
What can you say about Harvey and Jessica? I think this kind of situation always brings them closer together. They may butt heads on how to approach it. Are we going to see some great scenes between you and Gina Torres?
There's a few, but honestly, I think there's more Gina dealing with Lewis, Jessica dealing with Lewis, and there's more of Harvey dealing with Mike and how they're going to get it together. But this state attorney goes after Donna in the following episode, and you get a little flashback of some stories between Harvey and Donna, which I don't know if people like that storyline. That stuff's boring. I don't know. No, I did not say that.
Well, I was going to ask if the Hana. Oh my God,
Hana.
the Hana. That's a new
Harvey
one.
and Hana.
It's the Hana.
Harvey made a trip aliyah to Israel. And Hana.
Are those fans going to be serviced then? Is what I'm asking.
Sorry, I missed it. What? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Are those fans going to be serviced in the back 6 episodes? Will they have good
for the
scenes?
Harvey Donna stuff?
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
spicy stuff. Yish. Did you see tonight's episode?
I have seen the next 2. Yes.
All right, so there's a little bit of the bit in there. Yeah.
We might be talking about them tomorrow morning. Maybe not.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys all want them
so
to be together, or is that the deal? You want them to be together. Scotty did it. I wouldn't put it past her.
You know what? We are going to be taking questions from the audience later.
Sorry,
No, it's not that. But what I want to say is we did have one fan who couldn't be here tonight. And so she went ahead and sent in her question. So let's go ahead and play that.
Hi, Gabriel. Gina here. My question to you is, in a world without judgment or repercussions, Donna, Rachel, or Jessica?
And I would like you to answer that as from Gabriel first, and then from Harvey, I think. But let's go with Gabriel. That's what she meant.
Obviously.
You're not going to answer Harvey.
Professor Gerard.
Obviously, there is going to be a lot of tension in these last 6 episodes.
I will not give her the dignity of answering that question.
So I thought I was going to just play the silent game until you gave me something, but I was like, I'm going to save them. We're going to have a lot of seriousness in these last 6 episodes, but there is also a lot, there's still some light stuff to Suits, at least that fans like to talk about. I wanted to go there right now. It's almost a little apropos with what you're wearing tonight. I always like it right when he wears the cardigan with the therapist, or anytime Harvey dresses not in a suit, like when he's jogging, when he's boxing, maybe. I know, I had them put that up there. Yeah, I want to know, first of all, Gabriel, was there a lot of discussion about picking that cardigan? I feel like there must have been.
There was a moment, and I get a little reactionary sometimes. That's just my own stuff that I won't delve into tonight. But I was wearing a cardigan, and I had nothing. Did I have? Maybe I didn't have a T-shirt on. Maybe I didn't have a T-shirt on. It was nothing under. And they were like, no, we want you to wear the T-shirt. We want you to wear the T-shirt. And I was like, what? You don't know anything about fashion. And I was like, oh no, I just did that again. It was mean and reactive, and I'm not normally. I'm really not that guy. You can ask my family; some of them are here. there wasn't really a big. No, there was no serious drama other than that little drama that I just created. No, and I'll probably. Oh God, I'm gonna take the foot right out of my mouth.
Okay, well, let's go back to hopefully an easier topic. I didn't realize that was going to be so, heated, but
Sorry.
no, I do. I just
So
want to break
embarrassed.
out a couple of scenes that I
Yes.
think a lot of people would love to hear about. Harvey punching Lewis. Great scene. You remember it, right?
The one in the outtakes.
Oh, no, I don't know about that one. No, just what do you remember about filming that scene with Rick Hoffman? I think that relationship, and you can applaud if you want, that's one we all like to see, right? We like to see Harvey and Lewis and the amazing evolution of that friendship. Not a lot of applause there, but I believe inside they felt it. Thank you. All right, so tell me about filming that scene.
Our friend Roger Crumble directed it. We got in there. We were just, doing what we do. We work really well off each other. We find a really nice rhythm. I think we're both really sensitive to what we do well and what we don't do well. And I think we collaborate well in saying, hey, maybe take it down a little bit here, or let's punch it up here. And we both do that. And a lot of us in the cast do that with each other. In that moment, I don't know. We just had to get on the wave and become aggressive and angry, and all of that hurt. And we're acting.
I am aware, sir. I am
we
aware.
Were schmacting. I throw him, and then he comes back up and he starts running at me, and I throw him onto the coffee table. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. So it was sugar glass table, breakaway glass. Look, it was a very climactic moment as far as the storytelling is going on. It was very climactic. It was very cathartic for all of us to go there. There's been one massive fight, I think, in each season, and I think that was the one where, we butt heads and we go there.
And it didn't happen in the bathroom. They always seem to happen in the bathroom.
It's true.
What is it about that bathroom at the law firm?
You'll have to ask Aaron that. I have no idea.
Is there anything
Everyone
you
gets
yeah.
angry in the bathroom.
I know.
It's
yeah.
probably because I won't even.
But is there some great Lewis Harvey stuff coming up? Are we going to see those two?
Who?
Lewis and Harvey.
You know what? There's not much. I don't. There's not much in this back six. Okay. No, I think we really went to town with each other in the top 10. Am I speaking English? I had 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm really sorry. I'm incoherent. And
you mentioned flashbacks earlier. I'm wondering, do you have a favorite flashback that you've filmed? And if not, is there one that you would like to film? Is there anything that you would like to see?
There's one that I want to film.
Okay.
I want to see what happened to Harvey just before he hired Mike. So in some of the first season, there's that scene where Harvey says, life is like this, I like this. He likes to live at that different level and that taking risks and all of that. This back six really delves into the responsibility that both these guys feel about offering Mike this job and Mike taking this job, and what happens to you emotionally during that period. There's so much guilt, I think, riding on them, and if there's a question of being a sacrificial lamb, who's gonna step forward and do that? So I want to see what happened right before this kid walked into the office with the briefcase, and why did he offer him that gig? I know he sees himself in him. He sees his younger self. He sees that, Mike is one of the brightest guys he's ever met. But I think it would be really interesting to see, what went off the rails for Harvey that he made that decision. That would be a great flashback episode.
Have you pitched that to Aaron?
I did.
Yes? Okay. And
then I tried to convince him that it was his idea.
I did also want to talk about fan encounters. Obviously, the show on for 5 seasons, one of USA's most popular shows. Obviously, very passionate fans. Again, they're still standing here as we keep talking, which is wonderful.
Thank you all. By the way, thank you very much for watching the show, being here. We feel very blessed, really, really blessed and appreciative that you guys here in New York, all over the world, there's amazing, amazing fans of this show.
I was going to ask you, I just saw you celebrate a birthday, January 22nd, and I saw on Twitter you were thanking people. I mean, they were sending you happy birthdays from Germany, Italy, the Philippines, Spain, Finland, South Africa, Ecuador, Brazil, Mexico. I could go on. Where is the place that you're most surprised that you've been recognized? Is there?
Well, I was in Iceland a couple of years ago and just camping with my family, and I went to this like AM PM, mini mart or whatever, and there was a kid who was like 14 years old, and I walked by him and he was like, and I turned around, I was like, "Are you all right? You all right? What's going on?" And he was like, "Are you Harvey?" Oh God! Oh yeah. No, it's all right. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. That was amazing. It was so sweet. I mean, the guy, I almost knocked him on his ass just by walking by. I was in South Africa, and I was in sort of a tourist area, and there was this guy selling helicopter rides, and he was like, "Rides for $50. Rides. Hey, Harvey, let's get a selfie. Come on over here. Let's get a selfie." I was like, no. I'm just trying to get through. He's like, "Oh, we'll go in the back. We're gonna." It's okay. It's wild, someone told me that in India, 20 million people watch the show a week. That's huge.
NCIS numbers right there.
It's huge. It's amazing.
You're like, that means nothing. Continue. Is it dubbed in all those languages? And have you heard the Harvey?
It's the English-speaking.
Oh, okay.
It's the #1 rated English-speaking show in India. Granted, they have 1 billion people. I get it. I understand. But still, it's 20 million people. It's a lot of people. But no, worldwide, there's such fan appreciation. I mean, Russia, South America, Brazil, yeah, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, it's incredible. So blessed.
I did want to talk about Harvey's office and his home as well. 5 seasons in, do you find yourself wanting to add pieces to those sets, and have you? Or what would you like to add to each of them to make them, now that you know the characters so well?
I'd like to add some cabinets in my office. There's not one cabinet in there. There's no filing cabinet.
It's all like
digital.
the desk, like Donna's desk or whoever's desk outside.
Right. But I kind of like that Harvey's, he never has a briefcase. He's never holding things on his way to court. And so I'm not good with props.
And I don't know and you mentioned the mock trial. We've seen that those don't always end up well on this show. A lot of drama tends to come out there. Is that going to be, again, without spoiling too much, is that what we're looking at this time as well?
Yeah, this one is good. I think I can tell you about this. So Harvey believes that Harvey should be representing Mike in this case. Mike believes that he should be representing himself. We have a big fight about that. There's some conflict about that. And so we decide to take it to a mock trial and say, all right, you think you can do it? Let's go head to head. So they go against each other. What comes out of it are some really not so nice, dirty maneuvers, and it reveals some things to the whole firm, and it gets pretty sticky. But there's a reason for it all, and I think it's going to be a great episode. Patrick directed that episode. It's going to be great.
I think it's so great. I mean, hearing you say that, I'm getting so excited, and that's what's so great about a show in its 5th season. I think we all, that sounds like an incredible episode. What still excites you about the show 5 seasons in? Is it that you guys can do scenes like that mean that much, the stakes that high?
Yeah, I think that excites me. I think, what excites me is being challenged by the material, and I'm always challenged by the material, just because the writing it's so well written and it's got a different rhythm. I get challenged, like this, season 5, the first 10 episodes. I loved that Harvey was in therapy and dealing with his anxiety and dealing with the skeletons in his closet and dealing with his mother issues and all that stuff. And I felt that, for a few seasons, nobody's really got inside of his armor, and really broken him down. So I was personally extremely challenged by that stuff, and it opened me up. And I think it's great for this type A, aggressive closer, this guy who's always about making the deal and being right and all of this stuff, to break him down and make him a little three-dimensional. I thought it was that those are the moments that I find to be great. I would like to see more humor in the show, but the stakes are the highest they've ever been, and it's very hard to throw in a lot of humor when the stakes are so big. Maybe next season there'll be room for a little bit more humor. We'll see.
I think Aaron actually told me that he had to sort of remind the writers to take some jokes out because of what you're saying. Like, that's not where their frame of mind is right now. He also told me, which I think is interesting, that when he was writing this season finale, he changed something the night before it was shot. Do you know? Obviously, don't tell us what that is, but do you know what that is? And was it a big change? Like, was it something that surprised you, the way something was going to go?
It came from me. No, it kind of did and it kind of didn't. There was a major, major thing that happens in the final episode. I thought it was well done the way it was written, and then I had a couple conversations with some of the women in the house, and they brought up some really great points, and I was like, that's the way it should be. Why isn't it like that? And so I went to Aaron and I said, did you consider doing it like this? Maybe we should rethink this. I know we don't ever do this at the last minute, but... And he said, let me think about it. And he went home and he rewrote it. And then he came back and he said, you know what? One of the writers told me I had already thought of doing that. And so I was like, all right, so it was your idea. Great, okay, great. But he did it, and he went for it, and it was ballsy, and I commend him for it. It's going to be a great ending.
Oh, that's great. That is a great place to end our portion of the conversation. We're going to open it up to the audience now for Q&As. But first, we do actually have one more fan who couldn't make it to the Apple Store tonight.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, let's go ahead and play that question.
Uh-oh.
It's on? Hi, Apple, thank you so much for taking my question. Listen, I'm just having a hard time getting two partitioned hard drives to communicate with each other. So I was wondering if maybe you could lend a hand, let me know if it's maybe like a firewall issue or this, it's not for an Apple genius. Gabriel Macht? Oh, Gabriel. Gabriel's not gonna know anything about partitioning hard drives. Hey bud, how's it going down there? Sorry about all that snow. It's pretty chilly here too. I might put on a light sweater in a little bit. Question for Gabriel. I guess this would be a good one considering he's at an Apple store right now. Who in the cast would you say that you'd go to every time you have even the smallest problem with an Apple device? I don't want to throw the word genius around, but if you had to put a pin in it, say who is the genius that you would turn to in the cast? That'd be a good question, maybe.
Who do you think it is? Patrick is a genius. He is an Apple genius. He knows this stuff. He demos Apple products. He knows everything there is about Apple.
All right, let's go ahead and open it up
He's
to
my
you
tech
guys
genius.
now.
So I've obviously watched a lot of your interviews, and in a lot of them, you say that you're very different, that Harvey and Gabriel are very different. So what is the biggest similarity between the character and you personally?
What?
She said your good looks, if you couldn't hear that.
You're very different.
You're my cousin. That's you can't.
She really is his cousin. Like
She is, she
that's
is.
true.
Maybe that. Yeah, I can't say that. You can say that. I can't say that. Our similarities. Here, I'll tell you this. I love my fans, and I love that people love this show. I will be honest. Fame does some crazy shit to you, okay? And in the last 5 years, my life has changed. And someone mentioned to me, you don't think you're as much as Harvey, like Harvey as you think you're less like Harvey than you think you are, right? And I started thinking about it, and I was like, when I come in contact with fans sometimes, on my own personal day, when I'm walking down the street or walking my dog or taking my daughter to school or something like that, there's a little bit of Harvey that comes out in my boundaries. And I think I try to protect my family and protect that, because that to me is sacred. It's sacred. Not to say that I don't love someone saying, hey, I love the show and it's great and all that stuff, but I think there's a little bit of a hardness. So if you ever see me as being hard with you, I apologize, but that's where the Harvey comes out. But I'm very different. I think I'm very different from Harvey. As you can see, I'm such a friggin' goof. I can't argue my way out of a bag. This guy, he's put together and all that stuff. So I don't know if that answers your question. Let me say one more thing. Harvey focuses on closing the deal, and that is his priority. He is a winner. At all costs, he is aggressive and all of that. And he thinks it's important that business is more important than in anything in his personal life. I would much rather make it to my daughter's ballet recital than close a deal. So there's a difference between us.
Hi, so I was wondering, for season 6, if you could have someone guest star on the show, who would it be?
Gosh, these questions, I find them so difficult to answer. I mean, all the greats. I don't know if we'd ever get them. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Michael Jordan, that would be great. Derek would be great. I'd love Reggie Jackson to walk down the hall. That would be fun. That would be awesome. Yeah, I would like to see some more athletes. It's always fun to jump into that world, and I'd love to see Jordan just come and do like an arc. I mean, that would be great.
Yeah, as the show delves deeper into the background of Harvey, how has that changed your own personal portrayal of him?
I don't know. I mean, I'm usually thinking about the laundry that I have to send to the cleaners while I'm working. I'll tell you this. In film, the character has to change within 2.5 hours. Starts in one place, has to end up in another place. And that's something that I love about filmmaking, movies. In television, I didn't learn that until I started working on this show. And Aaron Korsh brought it to my attention. I got a phone call from the showrunner the first year, and he said, Gabriel, you're changing, you're speeding things up. You want this, you want that, you want this. We have to go incrementally. We have to make these changes very slowly. So we're lucky to have a series that has last now 6 years. I mean, knock on wood. How many series really last this long, right? So I started looking at it like the first 2 years is the beginning, maybe 3, 4, and 5 is the middle, and we'll see how long we go, but maybe 6, 7, and 8 is going to be the end. And that's how I see the arc. So you're going to see a very different Harvey from the first 2 seasons than you do now, and I think we've done that. And he gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and hopefully we'll see some changes in 6, 7, and 8 if we go that far.
Do you want to go that far? If I can interject for one follow-up question. I know it's been renewed for season 6. What are you thinking about the...
We're the next NCIS. In India.
In India. Call back. Very nice.
I'd like to look. We're going to be here for the next couple of years. Mark my words. We're going to be here for the next couple of years.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering what the best piece of acting advice your dad gave you was when you were starting out.
Well, one of the best advice was advice that he got. I don't think I've messed this story up, but I think Charlton Heston worked with my father a few times in a couple plays and in a film. And he said, my dad was getting all heady about something and asking, asking questions or whatever. And Charlton Heston said, "Stephen, stand up and say the fucking lines. Stand up straight and say that was it." So I love that piece of advice. I love that one. What has he given me? You know what? His advice has been, don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. And so I think that goes a long way.
Thank you. We see a lot of abandonment issues going on now, like first with Scotty and Donna, and then now we're learning about your backstory. Do you see Harvey turning to anyone outside of his therapist? And if you don't, or if you don't know yet, who would you pick to do that?
Oh, God, I haven't thought about that in a while. And I've been on hiatus, so all this is like, what? Harvey, yeah, he quit the firm? Right, okay. I think he'd go to Donna about it. Even though they're not working together, I still think he'd go to Donna because she gets him. She understands him. Yeah, I think you go to her.
Hi. So I was wondering how you studied for the role. Did you study for the role at all? Like talking to big law partners and before you.
I went to Harvard for 3 years. Did I study? I don't tend to do any research. No, yes, I did. I come from a family of lawyers. My aunt was a lawyer. My cousin, my sister, my grandfather. I took pieces from them, and I also really admire my agents and my past agents, and I saw Harvey as very similar to some of those guys. As far as the research for the law, whenever there is a certain case that we're dealing with that I don't understand, I'll definitely jump in and try and understand what the hell I'm saying, because often I don't. As you can see, look at me. How does he know what he's talking about? I don't. But I know how to stand up straight and say my lines. I am not a method actor, though. So I did not go to community or university law school. Graduate law school. I did not go to law school, no. Don't go? No. Oh, I'm total fraud. I'm a total fraud, come on. But so are you.
Hi, you're familiar with the Suits page with all the culprits.
I come across it every once in a while.
Well, first of all, Aaron did say in a Q&A that it is in one of the 6 main characters, so if anyone did think it was Harvey or anyone.
He did say that?
He did say that a few months ago during a Q&A. Okay. And Scotty's already been clicked off, but he hasn't answered this question. Is the person who turned Mike in, are they actually pictured there? Or could it be someone who isn't even on that page?
I think so.
They are? Okay, I just want to...
They are.
Okay.
They're there, front and
good.
center.
Okay. Thank you.
Good one.
Center,
Nobody's
vote.
getting this person. That's it.
Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Thank
Again, the
you.
show Wednesdays at 10
Please watch
on
tonight.